Okay,
Okay,
so carry on, Selva.
okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yeah. So hey everyone, good afternoon. Just a quick snapshot of what we did last week. So last week was all about answering the brief. So I kind of gave you guys a download on what a brief normally looks like. This is the template that most agencies will use, what each section means, and of course, then our own brief. As Miss said, this is not a like your course subject. I think it's just an exercise. So to see, how you guys can develop your thinking process, sort of in line with how we do it in the advertising field, lah, or even in any other fields you might be doing. So yeah, we've seen that the brief was all about the Nike Dunk. I'm just gonna fast forward this. Yeah, we know how it looks like, and the brief was basically for us to come up with a campaign or an idea on how we can execute print, radio, and TV. Nothing intensive. It's just thoughts, top line thoughts only. It's just to see how we would process and which is where we will come to today, right? What is the idea? Today's class is going to be a lot very collaborative. I will run through very briefly on what brainstormings are all about, which you guys already by now would know. You guys have been doing it for a good 20 years now. Ever since you started kindergarten, a lot of things you do is brainstorming anyways. So we will just discuss the idea and then see how we can improve that thought process that leads you to that idea. So yeah, brainstorming. Yeah, look at this really nice, cool image I found on Google. But yeah, basically, brainstorming is like the most exciting part about any kind of campaign or any kind of brief that you do. It's essentially what makes you a creative, right? This is where like engineers like to build buildings, creatives like to come up with ideas, create ideas, right? Your idea is born here. At this point, literally, sky is the limit. You shouldn't limit yourself by anything. You shouldn't limit yourself with budget. It's always great when you have a brainstorming session to really see how far you can. Of course, don't be absurd, but see how far you can push that creative thought. Then from there, once you've arrived at a thought, you can either scale it down or make it bigger, depending on the parameters set in that brief, like if client's budget, timing, whatnot. So yeah, I always say that creativity or no advertising is like a merger or the perfect mix between commercialism and creativity. Advertising essentially is commercial creativity. You are supposed to be creative, but within parameters given to you, right? If you just want to be creative for creative sake, you'll be called an artist. Here we're trying to solve a client's problem, so it requires you to use both your left and right brain, right? Your ideas may come from here, how you think of it creatively, how you kind of use your insights or intuition to solve these problems. But then where your left brain comes in is to really identify the important details or problem points or pain points your idea has or your brief has, and how you go about executing it. So it's just a good kind of scale of flow to kind of see that how creative processes work, how brainstorming works. It's always nice to have a checklist to see how you're kind of working it out. So what do you need to do? As we discussed last week during the brief, it's quite simple. It's what's the problem? What is the problem that the client has, or what is the issue that they want to solve? What do they want out of it? Like, do they want a TV ad to help solve that problem? Do they want a billboard? Do they want to create an on-ground activation? And of course, how do you go about solving that problem, right? Okay, if they want a TV ad, how do we create that TV ad? What can we do that's different? That's where you fall into your ideas. And then, of course, to bring your idea to life, this comes to the back end, the production side of things, right? Okay, I'm going to shoot a film. Do I need 20 people? Do I need 5 people for this film? How many scenes are there? Am I going to shoot it outdoors? Am I going to make it a studio shoot? What is needed is creative resources. Right now, in school or in uni, you have the opportunity to pretend like the sky is the limit. You can almost go in any way possible. But when you come into work, one of the biggest issue you're going to see when it comes to ideas, like everyone wants to think of a great big idea, right? But resources are very important. So you have to be aware of that. And I'm sure most of you guys down the road are going to be leading your own teams, your own projects. and you will be in charge of trying to decipher how many people you need to make this come to life. What do you really need? So yeah, we'll just kind of go through all this briefly. And so everyone has their own technique. I have my own. You all will have your own. And it's great to stick to your own, because that is what will make your idea unique, right? But for those of people who kind of still are trying to figure out what is their process, there are kind of these three main known brainstorming techniques, right? That most people would normally do. In fact, most of you guys will fall either in one of these categories. Step ladder technique is basically when you're doing for groups, right? Everyone gives their own bit, and then you try to merge this to create a bigger idea. So let's say me, Miss Z, and another person, right? We thought of an idea for the Nike shoe. Miss Z would say that, hey, I think this movie should be more emotional rather than product driven. And then I might say, oh, it should have a lot more colors, a lot more action. And another person might say, well, I think it's something that could hold on or lean onto some kind of social issue. With that three, right, now suddenly we can come up with an idea where, okay, why not have the main lead? Because most running ads or Nike ads are always with male, right? Why not make it a women empowered ad? We have a working mom who still wants to be athletic and cool. So now we're already touching on an emotion. We're touching on a social issue. It's a mom who's got to work, who's got to take care of her family, and let the story go around her. And I would like some action involved. Maybe we can have the mother doing some. That's how step ladder technique works. Reverse brainstorming, very commonly used, is basically whatever the current problem is that you want to solve, you try to trace it back to the root of the problem. For example, if Nike says that they want to sell this shoe, right? Um, the Nike Dunk, what we've learned before was that for years it was like the forgotten child. It was great, but then Air Jordans came in, it kind of went out, and now it's having this resurgence. So, what is the root of problem? Like they want this thing to be famous, but what made it not be famous? It was the Air Jordans. So this makes you think of an idea really. If Air Jordans is the problem, what if we directly engage the Jordans in that ad? This way we give space. You know what I'm saying? So these are the kind of ways that your ideas can formulate if you really break down the problem thoughts. Role storming, also a very effective way of doing it. This role storming, right, is very important because when you're dealing with clients, even though the clients are approaching you to come and solve an idea or a problem, they want to make sure that it adheres to the parameters they are set. A lot of global companies have all these global policies in place so that you don't veer off from brand. Ideally, sometimes you don't want those. You want a brand to be able to go any direction, but there is a reason why they keep it, right? That's where you can distinct Nike from Adidas, Coke from Pepsi, and whatnot. So role storming actually is you trying to take on the role of either the competitor, the customer, or your colleague, whoever it is, perspective that you need to take on to answer the brief, so that you can then think of different ways of coming to solve the problem. To give you guys a little bit of insight of what's going on now, we are working on Carlsberg's Deepavali campaign. It's down the road. Deepavali is only in November, but we need to start working on it now because we're going to design new cans, right? And those things really take time in production. So with a brand like Carlsberg, we always do a bit of role storming where we kind of think, okay, we want to do this with the cans, but then Carlsberg Global has already set certain rules in place. This is the amount of space you have to play with the cans. I actually have one. Let me show you guys how it's done. So, to give you guys an example, this is what we did for Chinese New Year. You guys can see, right? I'm not sure if you can. Oh, wait, hang on. Um, yeah. Can you guys see now? Yeah? No?
Yes,
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep, yep. You can see it.
Okay, and then this
can
is what we did
can.
for Liverpool. If you notice, right, there's so much this is Chinese New Year, this is Liverpool, but there's so many similarities in how the can is designed. First off, you can't play with the Carlsberg logo. It has a certain safe space that it needs to have, and the lockup is always got to be like this. So then you are given opportunities to play with the top bar here, your bottom, and of course your messaging. I'm not sure if it's clear, but there will be the words like celebrate, champions. These are spaces you can play with. And of course, yeah, top. So we have to keep all of these considerations in mind when we are going to present to a client or come up with an idea for the client.
The packaging is fantastic actually, Selva,
Oh,
because their first assignment, their individual assignment will actually be centered on packaging. So maybe
ah,
if you can give more insights on how you went through it, that would be great. Sorry, it's so noisy here.
no, perfect. It's perfect. I can hear you, miss. Yeah, sure. I am more than happy to run you through, guys, some product stuff that we've done, how we went about doing it. No problem at all. Yeah, so this is what they call CI or brand guidelines lah. Which you will come to know a lot. I'm sure some of you already know, but you just need to keep those in mind when you're formulating your ideas. So now this is where we're gonna have this collaborative moment. I would like you guys to have the floor and share your brief breakdown that you guys did last week. Each of you take your time, 3 minutes per person, 2 to 3 minutes, very quick. And I want to see your ideas and see how did you guys land to that thought process lah. So I'm just gonna pick people by random. I hope you guys have done it. Let's start off with Vanessa.
Okay. Actually, didn't we like do it per group last week?
Pardon?
Didn't we do it like per group last week?
Oh, yeah. But do you have the deck with you?
Yeah. So do I just share screen?
Yeah.
Okay. To be honest, I still don't really understand like the task, so I'm sorry if like turns out it's
No,
wrong.
no worries. Completely fine. Do you still have your deck with you? Maybe we can just go through, then I'll kind of help you out from there lah. Sorry.
Wait.
Okay, so what do you understand from the Nike product itself? Yeah, maybe you can share just what you understand from the product first, then maybe we'll work from there.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like what our group come up with.
Okay.
So like the question was like, what does the client wants, and then like how do they want it, and what is the idea? So
Yeah.
like the thing that I get from this like brief is basically Nike wants us to create a campaign for their Nike Dunk shoes. Since like uh, it was a very iconic like pair of shoes that they have, but then like because like it lost their relevance, so Nike wanted to like gain its relevance back in the market.
Nice.
So yeah, the campaign that they want us to make is like a 360 campaign to print media, radio, and television, which markets to a younger demographic between the age of 20 until 25.
And your idea?
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Haven't come up with anything.
This is where the fun part comes in lah, where you get to decide what the idea is going to be. So this is where great. This is exactly where you needed to be. You've understood last week's thing. Yeah, last week's class. Basically, you've broken down the brief, and now you've really placed the line on, okay, what exactly the thought is gonna be, and this is where you need to kind of formulate that idea lah. How do you want to create this ad? How are you going to market or advertise the Nike Dunk shoes? The exercise is basically just do a single slide on what's your big idea. Like if it's a name, let's say if it's Nike Dunks, right? Then maybe you want to call it High Dunk Royalty, whatever it is, or Slam Dunk, for example. Then give me 2 to 3 lines to explain what is that idea all about. Okay, maybe if it's slam dunk, it's all basketball related. So Nike is going to create this basketball themed idea, shoe idea, where every single shot is going to be revolving around basketball moments. You know, you have a player slam dunking, you have a player doing a 3-pointer. Everything is taking place in a basketball court. That's an example of how we want to do that idea slide lah. Yeah.
Okay.
So have your time at it. Spend that 1 week to brainstorm with your friend, and then try to think of what that idea could be. And for all of you guys, just a single slide. Take it more of like an exercise, a fun thing to do whenever you have that free time. If you have got half an hour, just think about it. And if you want, we can always add a design to it, a visual, something that can help translate your idea better or communicate your idea better. But thanks, Vanessa. You actually got it pretty well, pretty spot on. I'll see your idea next week then.
Thank you.
No worries. Chan Kian Hui.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay. Let me just share my screen then.
Yep.
For me, I broke it down into basically understand like into point forms. So like what does the client want as aim? So what they want is a traditional 360 campaign, and they emphasis on selling the shoe. And also they highlighted that they wanted to make it the Nike's coolest sneaker offering of year 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the target audience was 20 to 25 years old, which is basically people, it's like quite younger audience, not the very older target audience. Then how do they want it? These 3 deliverables was given. And they did also highlight a lot on the two-tone color scheme, the blue and white. And also this was mentioned, which is the reminiscence of the Dankai, the Game Royale.
Yeah.
So the idea that I have, it's not really an idea, but it's how I can book it out is that due to the target audience and how they want it, definitely need to generate a lot of hype and excitement. Product highlight is definitely the classic two-tone look. So because of how the design of the product, the overall theme can be a much more modern retro look. Not very specific, but it's just a theme. Yeah. And and this is how it should be. The emphasis should be like on the comeback of the classic shoe design. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. What do you have on slide 5?
Oh, this was just like just now what you said. Yeah. Like
okay, nice.
What's for next week, yeah.
Okay. First off, really nice attempt. By the way, both you and Vanessa, I like you guys have your own theme, your own art direction for your decks. It's really nice. It's good. If you could go back to slide 2, right? So here is something that you've done that's really well. You've done a bit of, see, the what does the client want almost works as your strat, right? Remember how brief you need to first have a strat, kind of create a framework. You kind of done that with that highlighting of the Nike's coolest sneaker offering for year 2021. In that one line, you've already explained to me what you're trying to do with the shoe. What is your strategy? I want to make this Nike's coolest sneaker offering, right? And that's good. You've kind of already set a a structure, an anchor point of what you're trying to do, which then reflects when you show your idea on slide 4, where you go about, I want to generate hype. I want to create, it's almost like hype beast. That's how I feel it when you say it, right? Or the way you've structured it, which is good because that's how you you see how you've led from one place to the other. You thought of a strategy. Okay, how do I do that? And you even have a theme already, an art direction, modern retro. I don't want to make it too old school. I want to be old school, made for the 21st century. So that's really great.
Yep.
Yeah, this is great. Thanks, Chan.
Thank you.
No worries. Let's see who's next. Sharon's leaving. Daryl Pang, I think. Yeah. Pung.
Hi. Yeah.
Hi.
I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So I broke down the brief, and basically the client wants a 360 campaign, which includes one print key visual, 30-second radio ad, or a 30-second TV ad.
Okay.
And their target audience is the young adult demographic, which is age 20 to 25. And the way they want the ad to be presented as is to highlight on the shoes two-tone colors, which is the signature blue and white colors. And the shoes must be presented in a way that it makes them look really cool or like trendy in the current year, which is 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking that it could also include the slogan, which is "Be true to your school,"
Mm-hmm.
and to also have persuasive yet energetic copywriting.
Okay.
And here's the project breakdown, which includes the cost and when it was issued in brief.
Okay. Nice. Daryl, are you in business?
No.
Which form are you in? I'm sorry, which course are you in? Program?
I'm in creative media.
Creative media. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Because you've created a deck that's like what a suit would do also.
Oh.
Like broke it down, there's a bit of analytics there, and I like the fact that on the previous slide, you did a bit of extra homework and you noted down the whole "Be true to your school." It's already an existing tagline that they're using, so you're going to use that asset to kind of, and that was going to help even develop your ideas, lah, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's very good. Nice. Okay, great. So just the same for Vanessa, like for you as well, like with Vanessa. At the next round is to think of what your idea is gonna be, that main line, like a headline with a 2-3 line to explain your idea lah. And if you have visuals with it, go for it. But I think you also have a theme already attached, right? Be true to your school. So
Yeah.
there's rich territory for you also.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Ellen. Ellen? Yeah, I don't think Ellen's Andrea, can you hear me?
Yeah, share my
Okay.
screen.
Yep. Okay, Miss Z got cut off for a while, but she'll just join in. We can continue lah. Just got a text from her. Okay. Andrea, you're in mute.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Okay, can you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright. So what does Nike want to make Nike high dunk relevant again in this day and age?
Yeah.
And who are our target market? For me, the primary market will be those aged 13 to 21 that are into streetwear. And then secondary market would be sport enthusiasts.
Okay.
The big idea I was thinking is old school is the new rule, dunk the funk away, because there's so much negativeness in this day and age. So it'd be cool to bring something that brings life and fun back into this world. And I think that's what High Dunk kind of inspires me to do because of how vibrant the colors are, and also that it was used by like skateboarders and like basketball players and athletes who are kind of like rebels in the olden days. They kind of just do their own thing, which is cool.
Yeah.
I want to bring that back. And for the unique selling point, I thought the color and pattern customization for one-shot orders would be kind of great. So at a minimum of 7 purchases, they can pick and customize the colors so that it encourages people to buy in groups and buy more.
Okay.
Then idea of execution, we'll have the Dunk the Funk Away campaign. So technically, like I said, to link the shoes with people that want to make a change in this world and dunk the funk away and bring the fun back.
Okay.
As for the medians, we'll also use what they wanted, which is like television ads and radio collaborations. But I think we'll branch out also into YouTube and social media. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all from me.
Okay, Andrea, this is great. You have a fleshed out thought. I like even how you went beyond that to assure how you're going to execute your thought. Can you go back to slide 4?
Okay.
Yeah.
This slide, is it slide 4?
Yeah, the idea, the big idea slide. Okay. Yeah, guys, actually, this is a good template on how we can also structure if you guys are still iffy about, oh, okay, how am I going to do it? How am I going to execute it? Of course, Andrea has done it in more slides, which by all means do so. If you want more slides to expand and share or to tell your idea, go ahead. I just don't want to give you guys so much headache, but by all means, do it if you want. Old school is the new rule, dunk the funk away. Because now you've really gone to the ideation stage, right? I kind of want to discuss with you on this.
Mm-hmm.
So do you see it as like the whole, these two lines as your big idea, or
Yeah, it's the big idea. It's in like the
okay,
shoe is supposed to bring more life to you.
okay. Because I'm kind of wondering, right? Like I get it, but when you shorten your line to dunk the funk away, it sounds much more cooler. It's easier to have it on your any kind of comms, right? Old school is the new rule, can always be your sub headline. So you know how some will always have the big headline and then bottom that is
Yeah.
like a sort of slogan to complement. I kind of wonder if that's a better way to express your idea, because when I see that, I see dunk the funk away as the big idea. It's like, okay,
Mm.
this is your X line, your X factor line. And what does dunk the funk away mean? Then you have a sub headline like says, old school is the new rule. So you're trying to say like, you let's bring back the funk, the old school shit, but in a new way, right? Is that how you're seeing it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Um, Unique selling point is great. Why minimum 7 purchases?
Sorry?
For slide 5, why a minimum? Is there any specific
Well,
reason?
yeah, I thought of setting a minimum because I felt like it would be a logistical headache for like production if
Okay.
one gets to customize. Then it would be kind of like a bespoke business, and I'm not sure if Nike would go for that because they've never really done that unless they're like for celebrities or yeah,
Oh, you mean
specific.
selling just one pair of shoes, is it?
Yeah, but customized. So I thought if 7 people they order, then they can order it in like blue or red or like add patterns.
Okay, so you want to make it almost like a collective thing. Like I want me and my friends to have the same pair of this blue and white color shoe. So we've got our own thing going on. So now there's
Yeah.
this thing. Is that how you see it?
Yeah. Like create my
Okay.
own little group.
Okay, so you create your, yeah, I like that idea. I like that you've creating your own thing into it. This is essentially how you can push the limit lah and expand and create, which is great. You're going into the business side of things, which clients love, because you're like, hey, I'm not only showing you an idea, I'm also showing you what's the best way to sell that idea, like sell your products. They love that. That's great. Then of course
Oh
your idea.
yeah, sorry, Selva. I was just wondering if
Hello,
maybe could be
I can't hear you, miss. The
that
Miss, you're breaking up.
I
Text miss. Uh, is Miss Sita or
Mm,
yeah, she is.
oops. Hello.
Yeah, Miss.
Hello?
It's breaking up, Miss.
Oh,
We can't
oh,
hear you.
oh. Okay.
No, can't.
To connect to my Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. Um, okay. In the meantime, Andrea, if you could go to slide 6.
9, 6. Okay.
Okay. So medians or mediums?
Oh, I think it's medium. Sorry. I
Okay,
got.
that is fine. Great. Yeah, like you see that Dunk the Funk Away, that is the main title for your campaign. Then the old school, what's it? The new old school's back to with the new rule, is it? Something like that. That could be your sub headline lah to go with that. Um, I like this because you've really pretty much done the work already. Now it's up to you if you want to kind of visualize your idea, like beautify it a bit, add a bit of mood, add a bit of art direction to this slide, you know.
Okay.
But that's totally up to you. But great job. Miss Z, you were saying something, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, you guys couldn't hear me just now. Something wrong with my earphones. But can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So also, while they're developing their big idea, could they tie in like ideas about dunking, dunk the fun away and everything to Malaysian audiences? Could they localize the
Yeah,
experiences for Malaysian audiences? Like maybe make it like using local colloquials, ke, fuyo dunk, that kind of thing.
absolutely can, Miss. Can
Yeah, so
definitely do
maybe
that.
it's an idea for you guys. Maybe it's in Malaysia. I think some of you are also Indonesian. Maybe if you can localize it to your home country, perhaps it would be a good idea for you to drop it into the developing of these constructs and all. So yeah,
Yeah.
just what I was planning to add. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my earphone, but my connection is much better now. Sorry to disturb. Yeah,
No,
so
it's not disturbing at all. It's a very great thought, actually, Miss. Yeah,
yeah.
like what Miss said, whenever you can, especially for international brands, when you can add in a local nuance, a local insight, they love it because you are then changing that work to become very Malaysian or you're very their own lah, something they can hold on to, which we do all the time. Like this can, this is a global can. This went around the world. This was only in Malaysia, Singapore, and I think some parts of Thailand. Of course, Chinese New Year. Of course, China also has it. But China's one is slightly tweaked. They have their own version as well. But as Miss said, this is local insight. And this is something we try to implement. And Carlsberg or any of the global brands like, because then Malaysia, Carlsberg Malaysia can own that. The same thing with Nike, And when the idea is really good, like what Miss said, that sometimes can get adapted to other countries also. So yeah, that's exactly right, Miss. Like you just add your local flavors if you want and see how you can turn it. If your idea is also in Malay, it's completely fine. Indonesian is complete. In fact, that's really nice. It's unique. Yeah, how Miss said. Now let's find for the next victim. Um, so just now was Andrea. Miss you, I'm supposed to find next. Daryl's done. Vanessa's done. Ellen, have you gone just now? Ellen Anga. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to Abigail. Can you hear me, Abigail?
Yeah, I'm loading a slide.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Oh, Ellen is couldn't speak right now. Are you in the library, Ellen? Because I had some students who are
Oh,
in the library. Tailors, maybe they can't speak out loud, possibly. Okay, never mind, Ellen. If you want to, you can even share your slide in the chat. Maybe Mrs. Selva can read it out. If you do have the slide.
yeah. Just share over your link on the group chat, then I will click on it lah.
So I basically broke down the brief, and then from the others who presented, I made all the what the client wants. So it's traditional, all the ads and all of those. Then I also wrote the budget, target audience, and then the deadline too. And then a little bit more about how they want is a two-tone color scheme, which is white and royal blue, and also to make the coolest offering from Nike of 2021. And I also took the "Be True to Your School" slogan.
Okay, nice.
The idea I'm not so sure yet, but maybe I can market it towards both fans and also athletes.
Okay. What's your next slide all about?
Nothing. It's just
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. Okay. So you want to make it about both fans and athletes. You want to keep to that line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just to give you some heads up, do you see any specific way you want to launch that? Do you want to keep to that line, but like, how do you see the execution? Maybe any top?
I haven't thought much about that first.
No worries. No pressure.
Let's say if you're targeting athletes, yeah, because since this is more of like a basketball kind of design,
Yeah.
what kind of, do that, maybe you can think of like, do they wear this as the athletes would wear this as for performance boosting, or would they wear it as like the kicks that they would go to when they chill out, let's say Pandalela Rinong after swimming, she will wear this, this is what she goes to because she's a royal. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe you can think of it in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, some ideas. Yeah.
No, which is very true. And maybe here's a bit of a nugget. Athletes, right, hate carrying shoes because they've already got a lot to carry, and it's annoying because shoes don't go into your normal bag. It always goes in a separate bag, right? Especially basketball shoes, they're huge. Nobody likes having to carry. Imagine like carrying two basketball shoes, like one or like one sneaker that's already big, and then when you're in the basketball court, having to put in another one. We did a shoot with the national athletes about 2 months ago, somewhere in early Feb. Yeah, and so we were shooting Farah and a bunch of our national athletes lah in not near Bukit Jalil, the national stadium, sports stadium,
Yeah.
near Bukit Jalil there, yeah. So none of them wear shoes. Everyone's wearing slippers. Why is because like they're so every day you have to wear back your shoe and this thing. So they're like so annoyed. They just walk around with slippers and they just have their shoe there, right? Maybe think of that like athletes who are also high schoolers, they want convenience. This shoe offers both. They want to look stylish, they can also at the moments go like change, right? See
Yeah.
if that's something that you can explore. Something about seamlessness, something just about easy, you know. Think about it and see if that helps lah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, nice.
Thank you.
Thanks, Abigail. No worries. Okay. So Ellen, you can share your deck. I will just on the group chat. Then I will just this thing. Arleta Leviani. Have you? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Let me share my screen. Bum, bum. Oh, yeah, it's this one. Okay,
Oh, nice.
present. Yeah, so I use unique selling point to first decide it on the dunk. I feel like the unique point is the silhouette that not anyone else can follow. So I feel like I want to keep the unique selling point with the premium materials into the modern side of the dunk.
Okay.
So what does the client want? The client want really comfortable shoes, but also stylish, and people also feels like their shoe before, based on the video I saw, is based on their school, their turf. It to show off, the fan feels like they can get close to their heroes by using the shoes.
Okay.
So, ayo. How did I want it? I wanted the combination between retro and modern, with the original silhouettes because it is what's the unique selling point, but with the new color. I also see that by hyping up a limited collaborative shoes, it will be a good idea also. So what is the idea? The idea is, for me, I base it on what I said before, the turf and the school. So before it was to show off the school, right? But since it's not really something known right now, and it's not really something that kind of a big deal to show off your school, I come up with an idea to make it like a culture, to have a specific shoes that only being sold in one country. Like, Starbucks has this special like mugs that only sold in those countries. It's like creating a hype that people kind of want it, and people sometimes just fly to those countries just to buy it because it's just interested for them, especially for collectors and like but the culture. I don't know the name of the culture, but the culture.
Sneaker culture, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Just one copy check. Limited edition. It's not Edison.
Oh shit.
No, it's fine, it's fine. We make mistakes all the time, but that's also our job, right? It's like to kind of spy at those things.
Yeah.
I like your insight. I like what cultural nuances you're trying to use. I like the comparison you also use, the Starbucks. Hey, every Starbucks country has their own unique cups, right? And mugs, sorry. And how you use that as an analogy for this is great. Clients like that kind of talk. Clients like when you try to say, hey, okay, because you're essentially doing case study for them, like, hey, by the way, you're Nike, but by the way, Adidas has done this. So there's some things that we can learn from there and improve upon, and that's great. So this is your main idea.
I think so.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't call this like the slider, right? It's just more of where your mindset and thought is for your idea, right? Which is great. Then now you just have to think about, okay, if dunk culture is kind of the territory you want to go, how do you express that in a line? You know, like for example, Andrea had dunk the funk away. So that's one expression. What is yours? You want to kind of make this a club. You want to make this a collective of sorts, right? Where people can come in. You want to make it inviting. For example, if this is just an example, if I call it dunk club, right? Welcome to the dunk club. What is that dunk club all about? I could create this feel. I could create a lifestyle kind of campaign that, like, when I get the dunks, I'm not just buying a pair of shoes. I'm subscribing to a lifestyle, a style that I like. It's the same thing with Lululemons, right? What makes Lululemons great is not like the sports attires there are like the best, makes you carry more weights, run faster. No, yes, they do branding really well, which is why everyone on Instagram who goes to a Lululemon, even if you don't buy a Lululemon, you still want to take a snapshot from the dressing room. Oh, look at me, I'm at Lululemon. It's lifestyle. They've gone to that territory, right? And there's something that your idea can also do. So it's really nice. Yeah. So looking forward. Thanks, Ataleta.
Thank you.
No,
I'll
no.
do it. Okay.
Yeah, we are running short of time. Chai Yun Z, right? Okay. Panjing Hong. Okay. Ellen, you could just share the link over. Who else do we have?
Has Audrey gone already?
Yeah. Audrey was with Vanessa, is it?
Well, okay, the first one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. So I think who we didn't see is Chai Yunzi, Ellen, and Pan, I think. Pan Jing Hong, yeah. So yeah, by all means, at least you guys have an idea of what is needed next. So yeah, next week, by all means, share us. If you can't present, it's fine. Just share over to Miss Z or in this group chat. We can open up and just go through it, lah. Yeah, I think that is all the ideas I've seen is great. I like the thought process you guys have. You guys are all creatives. But it was really nice to see because every one of you had a very different take or different perspective and how you go. And that's the best part, right? It shows that there is no such thing as one good idea. There's always different ideas to come up with. Just because somebody has taken something that sounds great doesn't mean that someone else cannot look from a different perspective. You guys have proven that really well. I like the thought. I like the craft that you guys put in your deck. Let me just end the class today with a simple footnote. So yeah, again, your mission, should you choose to accept it, now we've really kind of getting towards the idea phase. Is that one slider? What is your main line, that X factor that you want to say? So I'm going to use Andrea as a reference point again. If dunk the funk away is your X factor, your main line, then just give 2 to 3 lines of a rationale or description to that big idea, right? And it's always nice to maybe put a bit of art style or beautify that slide alone, so it gives a bit of mood and feel as well. And that's about it, guys. It's been a great class. I like it. Thank you so much for kind of adhering a bit, like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I know you guys are busy, a lot of things doing, but thanks. It's really fun.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Selva, once again. Okay, today we've covered the B, the brainstorming of ideas. Last week we spoke about the brief, the client, what the client basically wants, and today there were fantastic thoughts that you guys had about the dunk in whichever interpretations that you all have presented, which is great. It's always a starting point. So this is a good exercise, and thank you so much for participating. So I'm actually surprised that most of you already had something prepared. I was like, okay, maybe we have to start from scratch, but you guys had already done the task, which is great and fantastic for everyone. Okay, so for this particular lesson for next week, I'm so sorry. That's once again, I think for those of you who just came in a little bit later, next week apparently I actually highlighted it in the brief, and then someone just pointed it out yesterday that next Thursday is actually a public holiday in Malaysia. So I absolutely understand that you guys need that time to rest and such. So I think we would propose, we will need to postpone I hope it's okay with you, Selva. We need to postpone the C to the week after. And I think we will also bring forward the dates. We have 2 more sessions with Mr. Selva. So we'll just bring it forward, and hopefully whatever that is learned from this session with Mr. Selva will give you some inspiration, nuggets of wisdom that you can carry with you as you do your assignments and such. So for those of you wondering also, I also have the recordings for my lectures that I will put up in Times. Okay, Mrs. Selva, I hope you didn't leave us long enough to remember what Times is. So Times, yeah, the where we put our notes and stuff. So you guys click on the cat meme. Okay, you probably know what it means. I have a cat meme on the time, so you just click on it and you can view the lecture recordings, both Mr. Selva's session and my session for this week. So we are looking at structure of an ads and things like that. So I would also have some exercises for you guys to do at your free time, so you can do that, and also Mr. Selva's exercise as well in tandem. So I guess that will increase that creativity in you, and we hope that Mr. Selva continues to inspire you to write better, to think creatively, strategically in this particular line. Hopefully it will be applicable for you as a lifelong learning. So any questions before I think we end the session? So next week there will be no classes, but definitely I'll be putting up exercises and reminders for you to complete Mrs. Selva's task, and also a task on my side. So in case you guys need further clarification, we would be meeting for a tutorial. So in case you want further ideas to discuss before you present to Mr. Selva, we can discuss about it in our tutorial class on Tuesday. Or if you want to ask about your assignment, please drop by the tutorial session on Tuesday, so we can spend more time working on this creative work. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry, my phone rang. Please excuse that. Okay, sorry. I see there is a question. All right. Okay. Abigail says, okay, Mr. Selva, can we team up to explore more on the ideas?
Sure. By all means, whichever works for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So sure, Abigail, if you could find someone within, I think the more the merrier, the ideas will come. And of course, I think Mr. Selva, what do you think? Working in teams is in your line of work. Is it much more, conducive, or what? Or are you like a one man plan kind of guy?
No. There is no idea that can come to life without a group. No way. Like today, I might be the one who come up with this idea. So still got people who help. My art partner, my creative directors. Everyone is equally as involved and responsible for the idea coming to life. Another day would be my art partner who comes out with the idea, and my job is to help him to bring it. It's always like that. It's always great to have people working together.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, for you guys who are not confident enough to show your work yet, it's okay. If you're working on your own, it's okay. You can still present to Mr. Selva in our next session, which is the week after next. So in case you're stuck or whatever, you know, we are here in the classroom as a group anyway, if you're working on your own, so we can further develop, help develop your ideas lah. But if currently, as Abigail said, she wants to team up with a classmate to further expand, of course, yeah, definitely, the more the merrier on that. Okay, so
there's one thing I actually wanted to share.
Can.
But just to help for them, you know, when they're brainstorming and thinking of ideas, right? So I'm sure you guys know the big names like Behance, Pinterest, and stuff like that. But there are really all these really other cool websites and platforms you can use to help give you inspiration, to help you think of your ideas. So one of them is called Same Energy. It's just type same.energy and you'll get this website. It's a kind of mood board creator that helps you, and it uses AI and machine learning to help you get more of what you want. For example, right, if I want something to do with cars, I just type on cars and say, now I see I got all these different cars and I want more shots of the inside where I get to see the rim, I mean the steering wheel, right? If I click on that, I will start to get more images which are on that same line where different cars, different angles, but all of the inside. It's very intuitive. So if you want, please go use it. The other one is called deckofbrilliance.com. So we have these two creatives. I don't know who they are, but God bless their soul. What they've done is they've compiled every single, as much advertising campaigns that they can from don't know when, the beginning of time, and they've structured and broke it down to very key points, you know, whether you want to dramatize the problems, find an analogy, make the product precious, tell a story. There's so many different ways that you can do it, and all you got to do is just go in and try to find what's your style. And let's say you want to make the product all the hero, you click on that and it basically has all of these different ads, mostly are video ads that show you how that idea was done, you know. So it's very useful. By all means, go ahead and use that lah if you guys want to. That's it. Sorry.
Okay, no worries, Selva. Yeah, that is within the slides link that you shared, right?
No, I'll add it in there lah. I'll put it in there.
Okay. If you can share the link to the chat in a short while, then the students can refer lah. Okay, yeah. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much. I think we have reached the end. Oh my God! Before I forget, yeah. Okay, guys, quickly. You have 4 minutes to fill up your attendance. Sorry, Selva. This is like attendance stuff. So I'm just gonna share it. So yeah, for you guys, quickly, you have 4 minutes before the end of the session. I totally forgot. I got so engrossed with the presentations and all the exciting ideas. So yeah, there should be 4 of you. So once you guys are done, you guys are free to leave. If you have any questions at all, do drop it in the chat, so we can refer it to it later. So another note, next week no lecture, but still if you need clarification, can come to the tutorial. So Selva, I guess we'll need to extend the session after the the Nuzul Quran break, which is next week. So I think 1 extra week lah because next week no class. So sorry, I miscalculated because it's not actually like a general public holiday kan. So I overlooked that one lah. Okay, so there's 10 of you today. So in case you missed it out, yeah, I'm just gonna share the link in the chat. So once you're done with your attendance, you are free to go. Yes, there you go. Vanessa, I hope you have what do you call that? Updated. Yep, I hope you have. Yeah, you have updated already. So 11 of you. So I'm sharing the cam. So everybody, let's clap to Mr. Selva for fantastic sharing, and a big round of applause to everyone who also did their wonderful sharing today. So we look forward to more creative ideas, whether as an individual or in a group. As a group, we'll see you all next week. Okay. So yeah, for more clarification, maybe although my tutorial is like more of consult, then you guys can come in lah. So if anything, please catch on any announcements on Times and any announcement on Teams, and you can also DM me on Teams and Mr. Selva as well if you need more ideas how to break free out of that rut. Okay, just text us lah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, take care. Yeah, it was a very fruitful session. I agree, Chen
Yeah.
Hui. All right, so we hope to see you guys after the break. Right, see the tutorial next week still on the lecture ni. All right, bye guys.
Bye, miss.
Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Have a
Thanks.
fantastic end of the week. Yeah.
Right. Likewise.
All right. Bye bye. Thanks, Elva.